You're listening to Passages, a podcast about great quotes, life, and the wisdom of the Bible. And now your hosts, Drew Kaiser, Jason Pulliam, and Tim Layton.
Welcome. I am John Andrew Bar Andy, and I'm with Tim and Jason and Patrick, and we are so glad that you joined us. We are at the middle of what has been a very eventful week in America. The inauguration of number 47, Donald Trump. And I imagine
old America was there, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Making some interesting facial gestures.
George W. Bush, you forget, he stayed in the background so long. You forget all those smirks and winks that he does.
At one point, he turned around and said, "What did he say?" Did y'all see that where he mouths that? You can read his lips, and he's asking his wife, "What did he just say?" It was really
I didn't
funny.
see that.
Yep, fun week. So we're going to talk for a while about the inauguration. I'm going to begin with something that I really enjoyed / found interesting. There were 3 benediction prayers at the end of the service. At the end of the service, I guess, inaugural event.
Yeah, is that typical? Is 3 benediction prayers a little much? Or is that I don't know.
You can't pray too much.
But
Jason.
No. But
Pray without ceasing.
Isn't a benediction like in the singular? We're going to have a benediction and then we'll be done. It's not. We're going to have multiple.
That would be my understanding.
Would it be?
I'm a little. I'm surprised there were 3.
Yeah.
But it was a little reminiscent of a priest, a rabbi, and a reverend went into a bar.
There you
go. There was a little bit of that.
That include everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to begin with something that probably a lot of you heard. Here we go.
Let us pray for our 47th president. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that you gave our 45th and now our 47th president a millimeter miracle. We are grateful that you are the one that have called him for such a time as this, that America would begin to dream again.
This is benediction number 2.
We pray that we would fulfill the true meaning of our creed, that we hold these truths to be self-evident,
He didn't make that up.
all men are created equal.
But listen,
we pray that you use our president, that we will live in a nation where we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character.
Heard that one before.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful today
he's going to take it
that
up a
you
notch
will
in just a
use
second.
our 47th president so we would sing with new meaning, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation,
here we go.
we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
There we go.
Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last. If you believe where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Come on, put your hands together and give your great God great glory.
Oh, wait, we not supposed to clap there?
He was giving the great God
I
great glory.
feel a little judged. Not just the mountains of California, but Stone Mountain, Lookout Mountain, and the mud hills of Mississippi.
Yeah.
What about Mount
Even
Cheehaw?
there.
What I wanted to share with you was a combination of that and following him, Rabbi Ari Berman. Listen, that guy pumped the place up. People were clapping.
Are you sure it's not pronounced Boyman?
It might be.
Hey, before you play that, Tim,
Yeah.
what were we supposed to do with freedom?
I believe we were supposed to let it ring.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yes, we were.
Okay, missed it.
All
From
right.
the prodigious hilltops to the curvaceous
Mountains of California.
Yeah. that are
Um,
on fire.
So,
No, he didn't say that. Did he?
let me present to you about 15 or 20 seconds of benediction number 3, Rabbi Ari Berman. This came immediately after.
Let us pray. Almighty God, your prophet Jeremiah walked the streets of Jerusalem and blessed its inhabitants with the Hebrew words, Baruch HaGever Asher Yiftach BaHashem. Blessed is the
Gesundheit.
one who trusts in God. Thousands of years
Okay, that's enough.
Guy sounded really down in the dumps.
Well, here's my question. Do you think there was a dress rehearsal for this thing?
No.
No.
Not
Because
this part of it.
were there a dress rehearsal and I were Rabbi Ari Berman, I would have raised my hand and said, I think I should go second.
Yeah.
Let's let this
Absolutely.
dude. Let's let this dude close it.
Yeah.
Because have you
He
ever
was fired up.
have you ever been at something and like, maybe it was some kind of competition or something, and like you realized that you were maybe not supposed to be here, right?
You were going to lose.
Right. You were going to, let's say, not be competitive, not.
It's like the time the optometry school intramural basketball team. So basically, a bunch of nerds showed up at the gym at UAB because I was part of this to play in our intramural C League game, and mistakenly had been put in the A League and played the UAB football team.
Nice.
Did you tell all the refs they need to get their eyes checked?
No, they got the ball when the game started. I don't think we touched it the rest of the game.
Now,
But I know what you mean by that.
now, not that benediction time is a competition,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
But when the guy
Except-
before you has everybody on their feet clapping and has just finished listen, a great deal of his speech came from Martin Luther King on purpose. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
That was a prayer, a benediction.
But
not a
listen,
speech.
So the prayers were back to back?
yes.
To back.
So Reverend Ari Berman walked right up behind that and
Rabbi.
sucked the juice out of the room.
I'm pretty sure I would, if I were the rabbi, I would have got up there and said, "Yeah, I can't top that. Amen."
Right. What he said, let's go eat.
Was the first guy a Catholic priest?
He was.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's right.
So it really
It
is
is
a
like the
priest,
joke.
a reverend, and a rabbi. Yeah.
Mm,
Walk into an inauguration. So
that's
I just
funny.
wanted to share that, all I could think of was, listen, if we did a dress rehearsal of this, Rabbi Tim would have been saying, no.
Next time I get closing prayer, y'all hang on.
Right. You draw a line through that and
I'm
put
gonna
my
bring it.
name right above
Mhm.
old Lorenzo's name.
Speaking of dress and the inauguration,
Mm-hmm.
you're dressed like John Fetterman dressed too.
except,
wearing a hoodie.
except I don't have cargo shorts on
Right.
tonight.
Yeah, just up top.
Yeah.
You're a little dressier down below.
Hey, at least the guy is being real. He's being himself there.
But
yeah.
it was a little cold to be wearing shorts.
Now, Trump's wife was dressed like she was a mobster and wanted to kill someone.
No,
if she
no.
may have wanted to
If-
kill
I'm
someone.
telling you, if looks could kill, she would have taken out half the people in the front row. There's no doubt, because she was not having it. Oh man, that hat! She was just barely looking under it. I wasn't sure if there were eyes there or not.
I think my daughter's word for that is slay queen. She was a slay queen.
Wow.
I don't know what that means.
We're gonna need to do another glossary.
It
here
is
soon.
time.
There's a whole new set of words.
Is that
have surfaced.
SLAY or
Yeah.
SLEI?
It's not Christmassy. It's as in killing. Slay queen.
Queen. I've never heard
Also
that term.
on the list, I think we need shipped.
Whoa.
I shipped something back to Amazon.
No.
But
That's
it's when you-
that's like shipping two people like in a relationship.
That's what I mean.
I know.
That's why I
Back-
said we needed to talk
back-
he was,
about
back
he
it.
to
was giving you
Amazon.
the
Oh,
phonetics.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was saying the word I'm saying is
First.
shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't cut the good
No,
parts
yeah,
out.
that's the
That's
best Don't do that.
Don't cut the good parts out.
I don't know, but I'm glad the heat started to work in this room. I may be in
Yeah.
my underwear in the next 5 minutes.
My ears are sweating right now.
All right.
From the headphones.
I'll back
What
it
else
up
from
a
the inauguration do we want to talk about?
All right. So there was a few things that stood out to me, and I didn't get to see it, but I went back and I did a good bit of reading about it. And let me pull up my links. There was a few things I saved. So the inauguration, I found an article that was the top 10 lines, his top 10's Trump memorable inauguration lines. And I thought these would be kind of interesting to read, and they're in a list. Number 10, we now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals.
Was this during his?
This is his speech.
And
yes.
this is with
You're calling
His
that a
inaugural
line?
address.
this is with the leader of that government
of that
sitting
government
about
sitting
6 inches away
directly
from him.
behind him. It was wow, that was awkward. His number 9, we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs. President McKinley made our country very rich, though through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did. So talking about naming, so it was Mount, now they call it Denali, but they're going back to Mount McKinley.
I never knew they changed it.
Well,
I was totally shocked.
yeah, anyway.
Where
Number 8,
is that mountain? Is it in Alaska?
It's in Washington.
Washington?
Sounds right.
I probably should know. All right, here's number 8. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders, or more importantly, its own people. I was like, okay, that's true. 7. Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders, and boy, howdy did he. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. Thought that was a good line.
He had so many executive orders on his desk. It looked like he was just moving in, you
Yeah.
know?
I got the list here,
Yeah,
but I
I-
doubt we have time to.
Oh, we've got to go through at least some of the highlights because
Yeah.
I had a link to some of the highlights. This was one of the ones I thought that was funny. We will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry. And as he says that, the people who were pushing it were sitting, directly behind him. It was quite interesting to watch their reactions. This one is he's talking about bringing back free speech. This was an interesting, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will be immediately halted. We will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
That was big.
Yep. And as commander in chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right. So on that one, I heard a commentary on the idea of this declaring them foreign terror. What was it? A foreign terrorist organization.
Terrorist organizations. Yep.
And so apparently, when you do that, that means the president can come get you. That
With-
he
with the
basically
military.
with the military, right? So he can basically just deploy. I mean, when you're declared that, I think it's like you're being declared ISIS or something, right? I mean, you're right there with them, and
So that's a little scary with that background because that means we could be dumping troops into Colombia or Mexico, and that I don't know that that's a good thing because part of what he ran on was getting us out of, I guess, frivolous is probably not the term, but frivolous worldwide conflicts, right? I mean, didn't he run on that? So I don't know.
The idea is we're fighting everybody else's wars, but we're not fighting our own.
Yeah,
right.
that is
Defending
true.
everybody else's country, but not our own.
And maybe he's
These
just
cartels
and he feels like he needs to cut the head off the
Well,
snake,
and,
I guess.
and
right?
they're pushing so many drugs and stuff. I know at some point during the
and
talk,
human trafficking.
yeah, he talked about the number of Americans that are dying by like fentanyl overdoses and things like that. So, this one was interesting. I thought this was, I don't know, this was a bold statement to make. Well, it shouldn't be a bold statement, but in today's environment, this one's a bold one. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
How shocking.
How?
Doesn't he go on to say somewhere, and they're not changeable? Like,
If he did, I don't have it
Okay.
in this list of things. How crazy is it that is a top comment from an inauguration speech?
I would say 10, 15 years ago, we wouldn't have believed
That was
that
even
we would
possible.
be having to say something like that, or that would be a controversial
Do
statement.
future generations look back to this speech and they see that and they're like, well, I'm glad he did that? Or does at some point it just fall apart again? I don't know.
I really have no idea. I could guess either direction.
But I thought
At
that
this
was
stage, I don't know if it's everything he does it may be undone in 4 years.
Yeah. But that was
Or
probably the
maybe
most
there's
common
a pendulum
sense,
swing.
the most common sense thing I think he said.
But there is right now, I think this doesn't really have anything to, I mean, it may relate to him being back in office, but I think there was finally that moment when the silent majority said, we're done with wokeism.
Mm-hmm.
And however it initiated, that
It almost
swing
culminated
has started
in that
back, because
statement, yeah.
now it's very common to hear people pushing back on woke. And there was a period of time in the last year or two where it seemed like the whole world was scared to say anything for fear of being canceled.
Now, I know y'all had an elders and deacons meeting this last Sunday. Did y'all talk about shutting down our DEI program here?
We didn't quite get it started yet, so
Okay. Well, that's good.
We just decided not.
I mean, I'm out of the loop, so
not to begin it.
I'm okay. That's good.
We're just going to mothball it for right now.
Yeah.
All right, this next one, I think he's going to have Elon's help with this one. But number 2, we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation.
Before we do that, we need to get those 2 people we forgot about on the space station home.
Yeah,
We went on like an 8-day trip, and it's been like 8 months.
It's basically the space version of Gilligan's Island.
Yes,
Except for there's not Gilligan,
just 2 people.
Yeah. There's no Professor, no Marianne,
No.
no Thurston Howell III. Now, Thurston Howell III's trying to get him home. Elon.
Yeah.
That's who's trying to get. Lovey. All right. And then number 1, this is I thought this was an interesting quote, and I like it. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do, and no dream we cannot achieve. That is a very presidential
that's a good
statement.
line.
That's a great
Yeah,
quote.
I
What
like
was-
that.
really
the
well
only
done.
way it could have been even better is if he had brought Lorenzo Sewell up to say all of those things.
Yeah.
Or after every verse, he would just go, "Let freedom ring."
There
Something
you go.
like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so the last thing, and I'm not going to eat up all our time, but there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. And this happened pre-inauguration. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but Biden has been like Oprah handing out pardons. You get a pardon, you get a pardon, you get a pardon.
Yeah.
And
Most
not just
in history.
pardons. We're talking preemptive pardons.
Preemptive pardon.
I didn't know that was
That
a
is-
thing.
That's a get out of jail free card.
So I heard about
I mean,
this-
that's literally what that is.
It is, yeah. I heard about this speech or this question he answered in 2020 when they were facing one another for the 2020 election. And Patrick's going to play this little clip for us so we can all hear it.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
All right, so
That's X, sir.
4 years ago.
It's called X now.
That was 4 years
I know.
ago. 4 years ago, asked about directly asked about preemptive pardons. And he says, our
never me.
administration will never do that. And he has issued preemptive pardons for his son, his family, General Milley, the January 6th committee, and there's a number of other people that I'm missing here.
But he didn't issue one for his wife. What does that tell you?
He issued one for Tim's wife, but not his own.
Exactly.
General Milley.
General Milley.
General Milley.
That's what we call her around the
What
house.
did General Milley do, Tim?
Well,
Or what might she do is the question.
Well, I don't think it's what might she do, because I'm not sure that's covered. But what might she have done, I think is covered, right?
Oh, so
No,
it's not,
I think it's also what.
I don't think it
it's
covers
not
future
forward
transgressions. I don't
I
think.
don't know.
See, I
But whatever
misunderstood.
might have been done in the past that hasn't been
If they
So-
uncover
chiseled
something.
out.
So is a preemptive pardon an admission of guilt?
I
if
read.
you accept it,
I read a legal review of these pardons, and first of all, the pardon must be accepted, and by accepting the pardon, you are basically admitting guilt because a pardon requires guilt.
Yeah.
Can you leave it out there for
I don't know. Do
a
they
period
expire?
of time? Right? Is there an expiration date on
I
this thing?
want
and you
some
can no
open-ended
longer
pardons.
plead the fifth when you accept a pardon.
Yeah, I have.
You have
I
to
heard that.
testify.
Yeah,
Ooh, interesting.
That's true.
I did
so
hear that.
there's
too.
no chance that you can
Don't
be.
fact check me.
No, I'm not fact checking you.
Because
I'm thinking about the.
I guess
like,
it's because there's
the
no chance
implications.
that you can be incriminated.
But why
right?
would you
Because you're
testify?
pardoned.
Right.
If you're pardoned, what are you testifying for?
Other
You
other
could
people.
be against
Oh.
other
Or to
people,
just get to the bottom of whatever happened.
Right. Because you can self-incriminate at that point, right? Although it's not incrimination because
Yeah.
you're pardoned.
'Cause
You're
pardoned.
just telling what you did.
Mhm.
And I believe I read where he set the record for the most pardons.
Oh, by
Biden?
far.
Yeah.
By far.
I
Which is-
saw a list, and I think it was a little bit of maybe a misstatement, but it showed like Trump 23, and it showed Biden over 8,000. And then in the comments, there was something that said, this is about granting clemency versus pardons, and there was a little bit of iffiness around all that. So I'm not sure those numbers
Oh,
are
but
accurate
Trump
at
and
all.
his
I thought it was more
executive
like-
orders, he granted some 1,600 to the January 6th people.
Something
I
like
think.
that.
Hey, I lied. There's one more thing I want to
Hey,
bring
and
up.
they cracked open the doors of the prison for those guys, right? I mean, I think, right? Because, I mean, those guys were pardoned and they were in prison.
Right. A lot of them were. I don't think all 1,500
No,
were in
you're
prison, but some were headed there.
Are y'all followers of the Babylon Bee? Do you ever read the Babylon
I
Bee?
see a headline from time to time.
One of the greatest Babylon Bee articles I've ever seen came out today. And I meant to bring copies of this for you to see, and I forgot to because it didn't work out. They have, Trump has renamed the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if y'all have heard that, right?
Yeah.
Gulf of America. Well, they have the world map renamed by Trump. And there's some
Okay.
great names on here. So Hawaii,
I'm fine.
And-
Thank you.
the Philippines, some of
Still
the Pacific Islands are all now named Moana ? Which I thought was
Okay.
great. Mexico named America's Pants.
That's pretty good.
South Africa, Muskville.
Because
India
Musk
is
from there.
Vivekburg.
Maybe not today.
Uh,
They give him his walking papers.
Here's
today.
the name of the oceans: the Ocean of America, the other Ocean of America, still part of the Ocean of America because they all connect anyway. America's freezer is the South Pole. America's Santa's workshop is the North Pole. And then Russia is Country America beat to the moon, which I think is great.
What about Canada and Greenland?
Canada, I feel a little uncomfortable saying out here.
Okay.
All right.
Let me just say it's happy North Dakota. Very happy North Dakota is what they called it.
Okay.
Oh, I got you.
And then Greenland, Marjorie Taylor Greenland.
She's just going to give her a cut.
Which I thought.
Give her an island.
England was named Bad Teeth America, which I thought was really funny. And then in the upper right-hand corner of the map, it just says, "Here be dragons." So
Yeah.
I will.
That's good.
You need to get on if you follow the Babylon Bee. It's worth getting on there and looking at because it gave me a good hearty laugh today.
That's good.
A Laurel and hearty laugh.
So I'll set this up by just saying this is a clip from C-SPAN of
Ooh,
the inauguration.
exciting.
And
You're their second viewer.
Oh,
And yes,
I think
and
I
this
think
is,
I know what's about to
this
happen.
is this is a caller.
Yep.
This is a person who called in. I'm just going to play it for you without further ado.
I'm a bit disappointed how the election turned out. I think it would have been great to see a female president inaugurated today. And while I'm disappointed in the American people and their desire to see another 4 years of Trump, I'm a bit more disappointed in the selection committee for not picking Alabama for the college football playoff
Roll
final.
Tide.
And instead picking
Even worse, Alabama being left out of the college football playoff.
But he was a Kamala Harris supporter.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And also a Crimson Tide fan.
Roll Tide.
Can we also talk about another funny thing that happened during the inauguration? Right after Trump's speech, Carrie Underwood comes out to sing America the Beautiful, and the music won't play. Or they start playing the wrong
Isn't
music.
that insane? I mean, this is like
right.
you're supposed to have the best and brightest in audio video.
Yes, that would never happen in
the
Nashville Road.
world.
Right.
No, it
Never.
wouldn't happen here.
So
no,
they're
sir.
they're looking back at the rotundo
The slides
control
might be
room.
a step behind the song, but
What
the
in the
music
world's-
would play.
What in the world's going on back there?
But she basically
Just for anybody who wonders, we don't have instrumental music in Asheville Road.
No.
If,
No.
if anybody's wondering,
Patrick does not advance the slides most of the time.
or technical difficulties.
that's
at
right.
Asheville
And we
Road.
do not have
the video
technical-
kingdom is
te-
free
technical
of technical
difficulties.
difficulties.
You should have already hit the video room button at least twice.
Yeah.
See, no technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
Well, someone it sounds like needed to establish a kingdom in that video room.
So in we won't play the whole song, but she basically somebody with a headset comes out and says something to her, and she just looks at this guy and goes, "I'll just sing it," and then just
Oh, so she started no music at all.
yeah. So here we go.
She makes a comment that, y'all sing along with me or something like that.
Yeah, she goes,
If
"Y'all
you
sing
know it,
along
help
if you
me
know the
out."
words."
Right.
Yeah, right.
The words help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of
What's Biden singing? Looks like he was
no
singing
idea.
Ding Dong,
I don't-
the Witch's Dead
I
or
don't lip
something.
read.
Oh, McDonald had
But
a
she
farm.
she sings the whole song,
Moo moo there.
and it is.
Pretty spectacular.
I mean, it
Yeah,
is a
it's-
really good rendition of that.
no doubt.
For obviously, if we go with the dress rehearsal theory, obviously this was not dress rehearsed.
Right. It does make
I
me
bet
wonder
it was
why
better
they.
than it would have been.
It probably
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. But why didn't they have the military band play
Well,
America the Beautiful?
So this where she started is about 2.5 minutes after she's announced.
Weird.
But now there was the singers from the military were there and they were singing, as she was singing. I don't know if that was planned or not. And is that what they meant?
Oh, it says please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus
There we
and
go.
Carrie Underwood. So not
so
the
she
band.
was
Yeah.
they were singing background
Yeah.
for her, but they were piping in the music for this, where the military band had played a number of other things, right? Like
maybe they don't know America the Beautiful.
Maybe it's not in the repertoire.
I have some inside information
All right,
to
lay it on us.
explain what happened.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll take a little background. So
All right.
I do a lot of funerals, graveside services, and especially for fallen soldiers.
Okay.
And traditionally we play taps at these ceremonies. Fold the flag, present it to the widow, and play taps. It's a beautiful thing. One day I was standing there waiting on my turn. Military was doing their honors, and this guy was just going to town on that bugle with taps. And then I look, and his lips come off the horn, but it's still playing.
Oh,
and
no.
I look in the bell of the horn, and there is a speaker
fraudulent
in the bell of the horn.
Is this like the lip syncing of taps?
It is.
They and ever since then, I've noticed they are lip syncing taps on the horn. So here's my theory:
Not
with
at the end of the
military
third
horn
quarter at
players.
Homer
Yeah, I was
Smiles,
gonna
I'll
say,
tell you that.
No, they play it for real there.
Yeah.
Well,
Good or
yeah,
bad,
at
it's
Homer
played there.
Smiles. That's not a military band. This was a military band at the inauguration. They all had speakers, and it was too cold, and it messed with the circuitry.
That is probably what happened.
And that's what happened.
Did
All
they
the
play
speakers and the
taps
horns.
before or after they play "Live Like You Were Dying"?
They do not play "Live Like You Were Dying."
No, most funerals I go to around here, they do.
And at the graveside.
Oh, okay, at the graveside.
The graveside.
I try not to get to those very often.
Yeah, but I've solved that whole.
Did y'all see
carry-on
the
of
letter that was
mystery.
left for Donald Trump by past President Biden?
Yeah, it was
just
kinda
had 47 on it. It was written in crayon. I thought that was pretty
There's a
impressive.
picture on it. Hey, one thing that fascinates me is that in the transition, it's so quick. We have this house that America owns, and every 4 years it gets a new occupant, or 8 years, whatever the case may be. And in this case, this guy lived in it for 4 years, had to move out for 4 years, and move back in. And they get to pick their artwork and decorations and things down to the curtains, I guess through the whole house. But what interests me is the Oval Office. And I just did a little research on what artwork, especially portraits.
They also
different
get to choose like their desk, don't they? Or
Well,
there multiple
they always
desks?
talk about
This is the
Resolute
Resolute
desk.
Yes.
Resolute desk. Okay.
the same desk.
All right.
Yeah,
But I
obviously,
went
you've
through
never
the-
seen National Treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
hidden
do remember. Yeah.
compartments.
Doop, doop, doop. There's the
Yeah.
The
next part of the
Constitution.
map or whatever, right?
But I got a list here of some of the presidential choices of portraits throughout the years. John F. Kennedy, he wanted George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. That seems
Admirable.
right from
Yeah.
what I know about JFK. Richard Nixon, found this one interesting. He wanted a portrait of Woodrow Wilson alongside Washington and Lincoln. So he came after LBJ, right? LBJ, then Nixon. So it was JFK, LBJ. I guess he just left Lincoln and Washington, and then Nixon moved in. Of all people, Woodrow Wilson,
Yeah, that one.
who I think is probably one of the worst presidents in the history of our nation. But
I mean, Nixon did have a few other bad choices.
yes, well, yeah, you make a good point.
He doesn't have a great president
No,
for
we are
making
talking
real
about
wise
Nixon.
choices.
I mean, is
here.
it possible that like Woodrow Wilson might have been the only president uglier than Richard Nixon? I mean, maybe
That's
maybe
a good theory.
I'm
Yeah,
just, sort of throwing that out.
very
Let's see.
possible. Ronald
Woodrow
Reagan.
Wilson wasn't ugly.
Was he not a bad looking
No,
guy?
he's not that ugly.
All right.
Ronald Reagan. He chose Calvin Coolidge,
Mm-hmm.
who's very fiscally responsible, I think.
Mhm.
That matches with Reagan. And Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
Not a surprise there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton displayed portraits of Lincoln and FDR.
Ugh. I like Lincoln. FDR, not so great for America.
I was trying to think of a joke there, but
And dogs playing poker.
yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
And a portrait of Kenny G.
What?
Bill Clinton's brother was a saxophone
No,
player.
Bill Clinton was a saxophone player.
That's
Oh,
it.
that's
Yes,
right.
he
That's right.
was.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Barack Obama chose a bust of Martin Luther King Jr. and Lincoln and George Washington.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Donald Trump. This one
Chose 2 pictures of Donald Trump.
With his hand in his shirt like Napoleon.
Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect. No, one of the
This is his first term.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not this time. First term, right?
I looked into this, and I think it's now. Andrew Jackson.
Okay.
Reflecting his admiration for Jackson's populism along with Lincoln and Washington. So Lincoln and Washington, they come up over and over again.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson, is he not one of the most hated presidents in the history?
Yeah.
Because of the way he treated the Native Americans?
I think you're right.
And then, but apparently he was a populist and a man of the people.
Yeah.
And Trump, of course, that's his thing.
I can see why he'd have some reservations about him, though.
Trombone sound.
I need to be better on this thing. Hold on. Wait for it. I don't know where.
You want me to say it again?
Perfect.
Nailed it.
And then Joe Biden, FDR, not a surprise there. George Washington, Martin Luther King Jr.
And Droopy Dog.
Yeah. And a Hello Kitty mug on his desk. I just find that interesting. I wanted a longer list than that. But that's the most I could find. I'm probably
That's
fortunate
pretty
to find
interesting, though.
You can just, I imagine there's a portrait of every, if we go back to George Washington, there's got to be a portrait of every president that ever served.
Right.
Who would be your presidents? Anybody got a president they'd put in there?
Grover Cleveland.
Really?
I'm just throwing that out.
I mean, it seems, and you know, so many of them pick Washington and Lincoln. It seems like those would be sort of slam dunks, right? I mean, the first one, Lincoln.
I would have Reagan. I'd have a picture of Reagan in my office. I'm pretty sure.
And nobody's done that yet, which is
I
kind
would
of
have
surprising
Reagan.
this far out from Reagan. I would put William Henry Harrison just because the poor guy didn't even get to serve, just pity.
Did y'all see Donald Trump's new official portrait for this time running?
It looks like his mugshot, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. And they said he posed with this intense look for this one.
I think he purposely made it look like the mugshot.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. That's what I read. Which
looks
is pretty funny.
tough. Any more inaugural talk?
What was probably the biggest? Okay, what was the biggest executive order that I mean, obviously Gulf of America, huge. It's huge.
I'll tell you what's going to get him in the most controversy. Maybe the birthright citizenship.
Yeah, I don't know that one's going to make it when the courts get a hold of it,
because it's in the Constitution.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of a constitutional thing.
Yeah, it's pretty clear in the Constitution too. It's not even like an interpretation thing. I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that one's going to probably get shot down, but who knows? I mean,
there's plenty of fodder here for his enemies to twist a lot of these things into crimes against humanity, like the birthright citizenship and ending the DEI and transgender policies. That'll be taken out. That'll be interpreted as hating those people. I'll tell you what a lot of people are unhappy about today. It's something we've talked about on the program before, is federal workers, you got to go back to work.
Took 2 days, right? And he said, you're back in the office.
Yep, no more work from home.
Right.
And I wish I had written it down. I heard today the number of
is it
the
a huge number?
the percentage of federal workers that work from home. It was maybe, Patrick, maybe you can look it up.
Yep.
I want to say it was in the 90 percentile. That can't be true.
How about the one he signed pulling us out of the World Health Organization?
94%.
90
work from home.
94% of federal workers work from home.
At least part of the time or all of the time?
But,
oh, wait, hold on. This is a fact check site. Okay, so this says official data says 54% of federal employees are required to work on site full time, and only about 10% are fully remote.
Okay.
So this is saying that the claim that only 6% are full time in office is false, if you can believe this site.
Yeah, well, that's more believable than 94%.
You know who's
because you
really
got
gonna
the post
benefit?
office. Postal workers are all federal workers, and they can't work from home.
Right.
I'll tell you this is the clothing stores, because everybody's going to have to go out. They can't work in their pajamas anymore. They're going to have to
that's
go
gonna be
buy
a
khaki
boom
pants,
for the economy.
some Oxford shirts.
Yeah.
What are the things called that hold your sleeves?
Cufflinks.
Cufflinks. Yeah. Obviously, you can tell how dressy I get.
So
another executive order.
So
was
that order around going back to the office? I wonder if it's everybody's back in the office 100% of the time. I was.
That's the way I
because-
read
got
it.
the
Yeah,
fine
and
print
I
here. Let's
think
see.
Musk talked about this to begin with as a way to cut government employees,
and that's
right?
why a lot of companies are doing it, because it's a
Absolutely.
way to
Because
get people
people
to
will just
quit
quit,
without
yeah.
having to declare a layoff.
Right.
Which saves them unemployment, saves
Right.
them a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And it's just it's for what Elon Musk is trying to do, it's an easy first cut,
right.
stroke of a.
Well, but what
right.
do people like Musk do when they go take over a new company? They immediately cut 50% of the, or
That's
a
what
high
he did when
percent.
he
That's
walked
what he
in
did with
X,
Twitter,
right?
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was Twitter at the time.
Oh yeah, for a day or two.
He
right?
walked in Twitter and then he walked out of X.
Yes.
All of you people can.
I will never.
You can't work from home, but you can go home.
Yes. Right.
He's
kibosh-
listening to Elon Musk a lot because
Yeah.
while these are very Trumpy things, they also
Mhm.
track with the way Elon Musk runs his
Yeah.
businesses.
Now here's something that would
It's a
be
good thing.
This,
But of course, Trump's run a lot of businesses
Sure,
too. So
sure.
I mean,
Now, here's something that would
I think
be
it's a
very
little-
interesting. So, because this is what we're dealing with at my company, we're doing a big return to work, a return to office thing. So, let's just say that all those folks are like, you're not getting me, you're going to have to fire me.
Mhm.
You're going to have to,
at some point you're
going to have to come get me and give me
is
some
that-
severance or whatever. So, I'm coming back to the office. So, they all go back to the office. Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Is there enough governmental office space? Because the other thing, and this may or may not have happened with the government, but with my company, we let a lot of leases run out. We sold a lot of buildings. And as a result, it's not just like everybody's desk just sat there empty. And so if it's like return to office, well, first question is return to office where? So they'll give them some instructions around that, I'm sure. And they'll tell them, you got till February 1st to be back in the office or something like that. And, but then, I've shown you guys pictures of, it looks like folding chairs and TV trays that were, because, and in a lot of those cases, they're trying to get other areas ready.
Yeah.
But when you declare return to office, like they're doing that quick for this purpose,
you got to have
you
some
have
infrastructure.
you got a
in
real
place,
estate
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, the federal government has around 2.3 million full-time employees. So if 10% of them, I mean, it's only 230,000 employees. I say only. That's still a lot of people to sit in a seat.
Yeah.
But they all don't sit in a seat. I mean, you think about the post office.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not sitting at a desk, all of them not sitting at a desk. So,
But all of them were already back in the office.
Sure,
so, right.
sure.
So,
it'll be interesting
yeah.
to see. Got out of the Green New Deal. I thought that was a big transition, a good
Yeah.
thing.
The
Paris
suspended the
climate thing.
TikTok ban. That was another thing for 75 days. So
I think that this may not be interesting to you guys, but it's interesting to my work. So basically, they said like all of the FCC regulation and everything froze it all because I'm sure they're going to go revisit everything basically. So it's like everything that's in flight right now, freezing it.
Are we going to put POTS back in though?
We'll see. There's some of that, some of the stuff's been ruled on already.
Yeah.
But there'll be much more of it that's in flight. But the whole idea is, the thought is that this FCC will be much more conducive to us and moving technology forward and moving business forward. So,
do you think he signed any executive orders that limited the number of Red Bulls or Monster Energy drinks that Elon Musk could have before speaking? Because he was unhinged.
he was crazy.
He was a little out of control.
That was wild. If you haven't seen Elon Musk's speech on Inauguration Day, you got to look that up.
I'm just glad he didn't have his kid with him for this one, because his kid was all over the place at his last time he talked. But that guy has got to switch to 1 hour energy drinks instead of 5. It's ridiculous.
He was full. He was excited. Another person that was excited was the mayor of Philadelphia.
Oh,
She's excited about the Eagles, and I wanted y'all to hear this. This is a major leader in our country, a mayor of one of the largest and proudest American cities in our nation.
I want to take some, we want to take some questions. Any? Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Back that up. Do that one more time. E-L.
And that was the spelling Eagles.
We want to take some questions. Any? Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles.
Well, she says E-L-G-S, and then everyone else is starting the E because she skipped the A. Like watching it, you can see what happens. It clicks with her that she's misspelled it, and she picks up the ES at the end of everybody else spelling it right.
Well, you know, Philadelphia may have the greatest football team in Pennsylvania, but obviously they don't have the brightest mayor in Pennsylvania. I'm just saying.
That's just. I'm sure she's a bright woman, but
that was a low point.
You know,
fortunately, she was not in front of the Eagles fans at the football stadium, because I don't know if y'all have heard a lot about them.
They're
the ones who booed Santa Claus.
They're a little rough.
Oh man!
I mean, and
they would not.
Well, they're probably the best fans in the state of Pennsylvania too. Like the ones that are most likely to support their team.
Oh, Nathan Hart's gonna not appreciate that.
He's not gonna like that one bit. Yeah, I also thought it was funny. I'm glad you put the part in there, Patrick, where she says, "Any questions?" And she waits like maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, not even that.
She didn't want any questions.
No. Let's do Eagles and get out of here.
Yeah,
they were outside, so it could just be that she was cold.
Yeah, it was 10 degrees below zero when she was doing it. E-L-G-S-E-S.
All right, so we've done spelling and the inauguration.
So before we get to Bad Preacher, Jason.
Yes, sir.
I would like to talk for just a second about conspiracy theories.
All right.
I'm not putting on my tinfoil hat right now because I'm sweating and I don't want it to stick to me.
But I feel like it's sort of tradition.
Yeah.
Can you wear it just while we play this theme song?
Hang on a second. I got to get it.
I'll wait on the theme song.
Never has it handy.
He does not. Brilliant.
Well, it's because I lost the plastic thing that sat next to me where I had it sitting. All right. It is officially on.
All right.
There you go.
We're ready now.
Better keep it down, cause the walls are thin and the word is out now.
Can we stop right here?
Yeah, you're going to ask the question I'm going to ask.
Yeah, this side of the table needs to know from that side of the table.
Are
we supposed to know what that song is?
You guys are into this song, and I've been holding this back.
And we believe it's
a regular feature.
It was honestly one of the only songs I could find that clearly said conspiracy theory.
The song is entitled Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah. Who's it by?
You don't want to know. I'm embarrassed that I even found it.
Nick Jonas and the administration.
Oh, nice. No wonder I didn't know that.
But it had a little instrumental lead in and then conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It just works.
Just go ahead and claim that it was in your Jonas Brothers folder. Come on.
It would be in it was in the Jonas Brothers folder, it would be in the Roaring 40, so that if anyone ever gets into Spotify.
It's like the young guys are on that side of the table, and then the old guys are over here. The old guys are just staring at these young guys rocking it out to this song. That for 3 weeks I've been trying to figure out what the significance. I've heard conspiracy theory in
That's it. I googled conspiracy theory songs.
Drew and I had some side conversation talking about something completely different, and sometime during the week, and we were like, Were we supposed to know what that song was?
No one knows what that song is. It's Nick Jonas. No one listens to him.
Okay, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, you will be happy to know.
I gotta take this off. I'm sweating.
I'm going to play this. So
Stuck to my forehead.
Trump is in the Oval Office. He's
Mm-hmm.
signing his myriad of executive orders, and there's a reporter in the office.
Okay.
Or there's some reporters in the Oval Office with him.
But is it anything, these drones, is it anything that people need to be worried
No, I think it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of...
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay? Yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting, right?
And with the events today...
So he looks over at Susie, which I think is that his chief of staff, maybe?
Yeah.
And basically just says, let's find out what that is immediately. So if you can believe what a president says, maybe next week
find out,
or the next couple of weeks, we will know what these drones were.
Because he was saying he didn't know what it was, but he was also going to tell the people what it was, if I heard that correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is,
Talking about
but
the
we should
drones.
tell the people.
He's taken more questions from the press in 2 days than Biden took in 4 years.
Right. But
Talk
he
about
doesn't
full
need to ask
access.
Susie because Patrick's already told us
It's
that it's just airplanes.
It's
just
drones.
airplanes.
And they are alien craft.
He also made just a little passing comment there that it was near Bedminster.
He said, that he went on to note that some of the drones were spotted over his Bedminster club in New Jersey.
So that's his summer getaway is in Bedminster. So that was what he was at least probably alluding to. That
So
maybe
is he going to name
maybe they were
Mar-a-Lago?
looking at him.
Is he going to name Mar-a-Lago the Little White House? FDR spent a lot of time in Warm Springs, Georgia, and called it the Little White House. He would never call it the Little White House. It'd be a huge White House.
The greatest of all White Houses.
I fear Mar-a-Lago is larger than the White House.
A lot larger.
One last thing on Trump's office rearrangements. He reinstalled the Diet Coke button. Have
What
y'all
is
heard
the
this?
Diet Coke button?
He has a Diet Coke button that he can push anytime he gets thirsty.
And they bring him a Diet Coke?
That's what I hear.
If I were president, I would definitely have a soda vending machine in there where
With
I
just
could just
Diet Dr. Pepper in it?
Yeah, and I wouldn't need to push a button. It would be close enough that when my cup runneth empty, I could just go fill that thing back
So you
up.
go straight fountain.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's no doubt about it.
We talked about the portraits,
And it'd be Chick-fil-A brand fountain too.
I think another part of
Theirs is the best.
Inauguration Day that is very interesting is, so at the beginning of the day before the inauguration, if I remember correctly, President Trump and Melania go to the White House, right, for a meeting, or maybe just President Trump, I don't know, with the sitting president, right?
It's kinda
right. I
awkward.
think they did.
Yep.
Right.
I think it
And
was
so
both of them.
they have tea or something, and then they leave there and go to the inauguration. So they go to the inauguration, they have all these events or whatever. During that time, the living quarters in the White House are being flipped, right?
That's right. They're taking out all the stuff.
They do
3
it
hours.
really fast.
At 3 o'clock, it's done.
Now that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I have to assume the living quarters are substantial, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I would
there's
think so.
got to be a number
and
of
it's
rooms.
going to
that
take
they're
a while
doing,
to take those pool noodles that they put around all the sharp edges in there off so that from where Biden might fall and not get hurt.
It might be a good place to take a quick break. We'll be back with Bad Preacher.
A history left forgotten, a history left unpunished. Miles and miles of white cap bread can't make up for that shame. These cotton rules are death-like. They came about.
All right, we are back. Before we get to our Bad Preacher segment, let me give a shameless plug for my new book that is definitely officially out now. Sufficient Grace, A Christian Perspective of Chronic Illness. It's available at riddlecreekpublishing.com, Amazon, And if you're local here to the Leeds area, you can pick up a copy at the Borough Bookstore. One of our, I'll call them our proud sponsor. And so
we may have to get them another copy. It sounds like maybe they're out, which is a good thing.
I need to bring another box of 500 to them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did move up to number 11 in Chronic Pain.
This book was number 11 in Chronic Pain on Amazon for like 5 seconds. Who knows? It may have hit number 1, and I just didn't know it. But I'm still trying to get it into the hands of Charles Barkley, and we're working on that. But when we get that done, we can hit number 1 for sure.
If you don't understand that comment, listen to the
you gotta go back to
previous
last week.
episode.
Last episode,
Yep.
Right. So it's time for Bad Preacher.
Bad Preachers. Put your hand on that television set.
And you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
Isn't that something called a moshoko mazata?
Could it be Satan?
Do you remember the days, Tim, and I'm kind of looking at you because we're the older guys. You remember the days when you'd go to church and not quite sure, your wife isn't quite sure she should wear a dress or a pair of pants? You know, that was kind of controversial. Women wearing pants.
Was
I
it?
remember it. Oh,
It was before your
Jason.
time.
Son.
I missed
my
those
son.
days.
My son.
I could be. I mean, you'd have been young, but it's possible.
Yeah, it was. Some churches you just did not wear pants.
No.
Women did not wear pants in the church service. It was considered.
Well,
they would wear a
But-
dress, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They wore clothes.
I was just wondering.
But,
The way
I
you
mean,
put it, I was not
They'd
sure.
have
I was
dresses
just making
because
sure.
pants were regarded as masculine
Right.
dress.
And
masculine
right,
clothing.
Wow, how
so it
things
was
have
a
changed.
it was an issue at church, but then for some it was an issue outside of church as well.
Right. Yeah.
So
And still is.
pants
It still
at
is for
any
some
time,
people.
right? And then it in between there was what I believe is referred to as the culotte.
Culottes.
So
Were those
culottes.
the pants that came down?
Culottes.
Sure.
Are those the
I'm not
pants
sure.
that came down
Is this
between your knee and
Is this
ankle?
going to be
Number
a
crunch on that.
Is this going to be another chaperone for me?
I've always heard. No,
We're
I've
about
always-
to blow your mind.
I've always
Tim.
heard culottes.
Culottes.
I'm the one that has to be corrected.
Well, that's a first.
Wow.
Culottes. And culottes were pants that looked like dress.
That's right. Just had like a seam in the middle or whatever, right? But big legs only came down to maybe like between the knee and the foot or whatever, and
Try to get away with something.
Right.
there.
It's sort
I've
of-
always asked, my daughter, my wife, they'll say, "Oh, I can't wait to get these Sunday clothes off." And I'll say, "What is uncomfortable about a dress? It's just a
Culottes are kind of back
bolt
in
of
style
fabric,
right now.
a bolt of light, breezy fabric that's just hanging off your waist. There's nothing encumbering you."
I sort of think we ought to maybe think about going back to Bible days in a robe. I mean,
That's a lot more comfortable than pants.
right?
Wait,
I mean-
are you saying for everyone?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
saying
all-
for dudes. Let's
Yeah.
think about
That's
a
not
robe.
a dress. It's a kilt. You sicko.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand dresses being uncomfortable.
Right, I'm with you.
Now, on days like this where it's freezing cold, I
yeah.
totally get the
Yeah,
pants.
right.
I just don't think I would like a dress. There's.
Hey,
If you didn't think
don't
about
knock
it that
till
way,
you try it, buddy.
I've never worn one, so I don't know. Maybe I should, but I'm just thinking I can see where it would
Maybe
be
we
fun.
can get a VBS skit that
Wait, have
requires
you
to
worn
wear
a dress?
one.
No.
Tim, have you worn a dress?
Oh, come on.
no,
Oh, of course not.
no.
There's a story there somewhere. I've never worn a dress. I can go on record.
You
and say
have
that.
worn robe. Excuse me.
Yeah,
You have worn
You've been a
robes
special
for
visitor
VBS,
enough
yeah.
to be.
I had
a,
on shorts underneath them.
Well,
Well,
who cares? I mean, it's still a robe.
I know a former deacon who did not. And I can't drop his name, but you all know who I'm talking
exactly who you're talking
about. It's
about.
one of the most awkward moments in VBS history. It was not much of a Bible costume. It was more like his son's bathrobe.
I think that it's like, hey, we got a couple of Rubbermaid tubs back here full of robes that'll come down past you.
You brought that one from
come
home.
past your shin. I mean, what's that brown terry cloth thing you got on? I think it's just a towel. Goodness gracious!
You are wearing shorts under that, aren't you?
So this is still, believe it or not, the bad preacher segment. Some people are still preaching that women should not wear pants, and I believe they don't really logically lay the argument out for us in this clip. They just condemn the practice of wearing what they call leggings.
And you say some people, you're not saying this is your thoughts or your belief.
Oh, no. I'm setting up the bad preacher clip.
But listen,
I'm just saving you people saying, Drew said.
And this is not even just wearing leggings. This is like wearing leggings under a dress.
Under a dress.
Oh, that's even wrong.
So we're going like...
What are you doing? It's 9 degrees outside like we had this morning.
I'm assuming it has to do with women wearing masculine clothing is the argument. But I don't know. Let's play it and listen. Maybe we can understand a little bit better after we listen to the clip.
Take it away, Patrick.
Come among our holiness people to allow girls to wear what they call leggings. They still wear them below their skirt, but they come out the bottom of the skirt and go somewhere down in the calf or even to the ankle.
Why is it that people who say, well, it's too hot to wear hose, they want to wear leggings?
Some people will say, well, they're just tights, but they're not tights.
Or they are close-fitting knit pants. That's what the world calls them.
Yes.
And yet we as holiness people that know that a woman is not supposed to wear pants, now we are allowing that. But there is a fact.
Okay, so he says a woman is not supposed to wear pants.
But
I think he's going back to Leviticus, or I didn't do my homework on this, but there's a law about men wearing women's clothing and vice versa.
But Deuteronomy 22:5, according to this, I found it on Focus on the Family, where it was talking about the question is, should I let my teenage girls wear pants? But it goes on and it quotes this verse. A woman shall not wear anything that pertains to a man, nor shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all who do so are an abomination to the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 22:5. So I guess that's where they're drawing it from.
Yeah.
So, so wearing hose or tights in that recording seem to be okay because they're designated for a woman.
But as long as they don't come out from underneath the dress, is what it sounded
like. I heard that. He said sometimes down to the calf, even to the ankle.
No, but there were references to hose. You know, they like to call them hose, but they're really leggings. That's HOSE. Okay.
Can we say hosiery?
Hosiery.
Yeah. Hosiery.
Stockings.
But
the direct quote was they like to call them hose. And so
that's not nice at all.
Guys, it sounded like he was okay with
Is there anybody left in the studio? Anyone?
Are you guys okay over there? Boy, it is the old versus the young.
That young
tonight.
side of the table is broken.
We may have to break up the seating arrangement. This is just not good.
I'm sorry. I tried to hold it in as long as I could.
But he said stockings were fine.
But
leggings.
If they had a hole at the end that your foot could escape out of, then it's a problem, right?
It sounded like. What about stirrup pants? Remember those?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's about the ugliest fashion.
But what were they?
You're going back to the 80s.
But what's
with
at
those?
the end of that? Pants.
Right. That's the devil's fabric.
Right.
On a woman. Now here's the deal.
I can't believe this is that big of a deal.
If I put on my wife's leggings and came to church, you would not say, Drew's got a new pair of pants.
Well, I would hope
would
that
say-
you were wearing a long T-shirt, first of all.
Yeah, you got to cover
It's
the
got to
butt.
be an oversized T-shirt of some sort, please.
You would say Drew put on his wife's pants because it doesn't look like man's pants. First of all, there are no pockets on women's pants because they expect us to pay for everything.
There you
So
go.
they don't need to carry their wallets
Drew
around.
Kaiser at oh no, sorry.
Direct quote.
Yeah, mark that.
But just because it's pants, that doesn't mean it's masculine.
No.
Women's pants are obviously women's pants.
I think they just said, listen, that verse says that about a man and a woman. Pants clearly are worn by a man. Women can't wear pants. End of
But
story.
doesn't it just boil down to that verse is basically saying men do man things, women do woman things. Wear women's clothing, men wear men's clothing. I mean, back then they were all in some type of a robe or something. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
I just can't believe that people get this bent out of shape about this stuff.
I wonder when pants started coming on the scene. Pants are a fairly modern invention,
Right.
no?
Right. I would say so.
Well, we could Google that. When were pants?
See, that's what Patrick's here for. I love it.
He's quicker at it than any of us do.
Yeah.
The oldest known trousers dating to the period between the 13th and the 10th centuries BC.
What?
Huh.
That's
Well,
that's a long
It'd
time
be hard
ago.
to put a skirt in a suit of armor.
Well, that's true. And Shakespeare, which was long after that time, he pranced around in tights. So that's a form of pants. So 13th century BC.
That's what it says. That's Wikipedia.
A lot of people
for
don't even think
trousers.
the world is that old. I mean that's a long time ago. Man.
13th century BC.
Well, there goes that theory.
So
I
is
thought
that the
pants were-
1400s or the 1200s BC?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Yes.
If it's the 13th century AD, I know what that is. But what's the 13th
You count
century BC?
backwards.
So that'd
Count
be
backwards. So you're
So
one ahead.
That'd be the
So 0 to
1400s.
99 would have been first century BC, right?
This is Wikipedia.
No, it would have been.
I'm not
12
fact
to
checking.
13 would be
Oh,
the
you said
13th century.
13th would be like the 1200s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not as old as I was thinking. Like,
Centuries, 100 years.
I was thinking like
Thousands.
thousands. Yeah, you know where I was going. 12,000 BC. No, 1200. Still,
So pants have been around for a long time. So pants were around. I mean, if it dates back to there were some form of pants around during biblical times, right?
That's right. Well,
apparently.
I bet
Yeah.
there weren't Jordache stonewashed jeans. Boy, I stumbled all over that. Jordache stonewashed jeans.
There weren't any stirrup pants. To circle back, or culottes.
I tell you what, they're stirring some stuff up right here.
What?
Stirrup. You said stirrup pants. I
Yeah.
mean, those pants are stirring up some trouble with the holiness.
Oh
brethren.
yeah, there you go. Just stirring up with that big fella.
You got to hit that. You got to hit that wah 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 when he says that. So
Yeah. I think we've run out of gas on the bad preacher segment, so let's just break and
take a break and try to rein this thing back in.
A history left forgotten, a history left unpunished. Miles and miles of white cap print can't make up for that shame. These cotton rules are death-like.
All right, and we're back. Time for our passage of the evening. This one's by Friedrich. Oh no! Somebody help me out.
Nietzsche.
Let's just get to the quote before I butcher his name even more. It's past 10. We're getting a little sleepy in here. So here's the quote: "When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago. When we are tired, we are attacked by ideas we conquered long ago." So I this was a quote I'd found, and where I just save quotes when I find them, and I really like this one. It reminds me so in recovery groups, in a lot of 12-step programs, there is a acronym HALT that is used pretty regularly. If you've had anything to do with a 12-step program, HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And it talks about that. If you look in the big book of AA, one of the things it says about it is that we're susceptible to self-destruction or self-destructive behaviors when these basic needs are unmet. When you're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, you're basically at your weakest point. Your guard is let down, and it's easy to let things that create chaos in your life become a problem. And it in 12-step recovery programs, it teaches you to be aware, cognizant of when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, because those are danger points. It's dangerous for relapse. It's dangerous for acting out behavior. It's dangerous for a lot of reasons. And if you think about a lot of the times you lose your sense of direction just in general outside of 12-step programs, and you say something or do something or think something that is not exactly where you would normally be, it's usually under one of these things. You're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. You know, if I'm hungry, I'm generally hangry.
Right. We talk about being hangry. I've never heard never heard that acronym before, but I think it's very good.
You got anger will make you say and do things you don't want to do. Lonely, we've talked before about, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, but as friends, we've talked about that if you're traveling somewhere, you have problems, travel with somebody. It gives you an accountability person, because when you're alone, when you're lonely, you have time to make mistakes. You don't have anybody
to devil's work.
That's right. And then when you're tired, which is what this one goes to, you're just easy to let your guard down, and it's easy to get yourself into trouble. And that has just always been, it's part of the tools of recovery. And it's just,
and this
it's an
this
important
one is
thing.
one of these very internal things, right?
Yeah,
it's talking about these ideas. And so I think you're right that may be tired, especially, when you're mentally, emotionally weakened. That's when things like insecurities things that maybe you've battled and overcome.
Yep.
They grow on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Self-doubt becomes an issue. Insecurity becomes an issue. Questioning everything becomes an issue.
It reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which on the bottom you've got, the needs of food and shelter and so on, and then you go up the hierarchy and you get to higher needs like self-esteem and self-actualization, and the idea of trying to meet those higher needs before the lower needs are met. It's human beings can't do that. You have to have your strength in order to conquer those demons and to conquer those doubts and fears and things that you have battled in the past. And so there's a lot here about self-care. There's a lot here about knowing your weaknesses and limitations. I really like that acronym, HALT. I never heard that before. This makes perfect sense.
When I read this quote, I think about how sometimes nighttime can be very difficult, right? And, And so, nighttime, maybe you can't sleep, maybe you're troubled, and I think about how sometimes at night things can just grow out of proportion mentally in terms of struggles that you're going through, but then when day comes, it's it all feels different, and what have you done? You've rested. It's a new day. You have a new start. But I mean, I think there's just so much truth in that, and really, I say that about the night because that's when we're typically, we've been through a day and we're feeling tired and feeling, I don't know. Sometimes lonely comes along with that. Right. If you're up by yourself or whatever, you you feel by yourself, you feel tired, and I don't know. Sometimes nights are difficult for for those kind of reasons.
But I think mental health is most vulnerable when you're tired, because it takes a lot of energy, especially if you deal with a lot of self-doubt or self-loathing, self-esteem issues. It takes a lot of energy throughout the day to remind yourself, hey, I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of God's love. I'm part of God's creation. I have things that are positive in my life. I have things that are going well for me in my life. That's energy sapping when you do that. And when you're tired, sometimes you don't have the energy to do those mental gymnastics. And that's when you start looking at yourself as being not worthy of love, or not accepted in the world, or not accepted by your friends, or I don't know. I think it,
or even just understanding and feeling your blessings.
Yeah,
right?
When we're tired, we just don't have. I mean, it's like us trying to talk in here. After 10 o'clock, it goes downhill rapidly, and it's not that we're ignorant people. It's just we're tired, and our cognitive ability starts to slip a little bit.
And you need to recognize that about yourself when you're feeling doubts or you're struggling. Sometimes you just need rest. You need to leave the situation alone for a while, get some rest, walk away from it, come back to it, knowing that when you're fresh, things will look a lot better. I was thinking of a couple of examples of ideas you conquered in the past. And one thing is forgiveness. And it reminded me of Luke 17:3-4, where Jesus says, if your brother sins against you and he repents, you must forgive him. If he sins against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day comes to you saying, I repent, you must forgive him. And, I don't think that's about a guy who's coming up with 7 different wrongs a day. I think that's the idea of the person doing the forgiving. He gets tired, or he is reminded of the wrong and he's hurt, or he's angry, he's weak, and the sting returns to him of the same sin that he had already conquered in forgiveness, and he has to forgive again. Another example I thought of was doubt, and I was thinking of when Jesus came to the disciples walking on the water and called Peter out there. And this was at night during a storm after a very long day. There was a lot of exhaustion, and Peter had the faith in the beginning to walk on the water, but he looked around, he saw the wind and the waves, and he grew afraid, and he began to sink. And that's an illustration of how doubt can come in and seize those ideas you conquered. We arrive at these truths and we know they're true, but there are these dark moments in our lives where we question what we know with our minds is true. Intellectually, it's there, but emotionally, it's not there. And I think it's a very important human weakness we need to recognize in order to make it through this world.
Well, I think you mentioned Peter. I think of him even denying Christ. I mean, they've been up all day. Here's the guy that just said, I'll die for you. They've been up all night. He's watched his Lord and Savior be carried off. And in the middle of the night, because the rooster's crowing, so we know it's early in the morning when this all plays out. He's tired. All the other apostles are gone. He's kind of there by himself. Maybe somebody's there witnessing it as well with him, but they're scattered. They're not together. So he's lonely. And in that moment of weakness, he starts doubting who Christ is. He starts doubting his relationship with him, and he starts thinking about protecting self. And that's what we do a lot of times, is we kind of internalize and start focusing inward instead of outward when we're tired. And the next thing you know, he's denying Christ, the guy he said he'd die for.
What about John the Baptist? Same thing.
Yeah.
He's ferocious, fearless. He's calling the Pharisees a brood of vipers. He's not afraid of anybody. But then they put him in jail for a long time.
Yep.
And he sends messengers out. Are you the one we've been looking for, or should I look for another?
Yeah.
That was the same John who baptized Jesus saying that.
Yeah.
The same John who heard the voice from heaven.
Yeah.
And he just was tired, to use Nietzsche's term.
Tired and lonely. And I don't know, it's easy to get lost in your head. And that's why it's so important. And I think it's why I think God gives the example of it at creation, where he works 6 days and gives a seventh day to rest. Rest is important.
Yeah.
This doesn't hit on the lonely part, but you think about all of the times that Jesus had to get away from the crowd. And I think, he had such a, particularly during the time when, the throngs of people were on him, wanting him to perform miracles, right? And, just on him all the time. He had to get away, and he went away to pray. And I think we should take from that example as well, right? Some of the times when we're tired and we need rest, I think part of the process of trying to get the kind of rest that we need may and probably does involve handing things over to God, so that you can rest and sort of lay some things to the side. But I think prayer is part of recuperation, of getting away from the world, talking to God. And, so it's, sometimes that rest, I think Jesus shows us, it is about physical sleep, but it's about getting away and talking to God as well. I think that's an important part of our emotional recuperation.
And I also don't think it's an accident that Satan tried to tempt Jesus after 40 days of fasting when he was hungry, lonely, and tired.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason
Great example.
he hit Jesus when he was at his most vulnerable moment. And Jesus is Jesus, and of course he stood up to it and handled it well. But man, if Satan had hit me when I was hungry, lonely, and tired, man, how many times have I failed that test? And we've all failed that test. And so I just, when you were talking about that just popped in my head that of course that's when Satan tried to tempt him. He was hitting
his best
a lot of
chance,
things.
right?
I mean, a lot of time alone and tired makes you start kind of doubting things sometimes. So I don't know. I like the quote. I think it's a good one. I'd never heard it before, but I like personally how it ties into a lot of the recovery stuff. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. Nietzsche, he was a nihilist. He was not a very happy person. He was very, I don't know a whole lot about his philosophies, but
I don't know much about him. He was not a real, he's not a real positive
he
fellow.
wasn't a Christian man.
No, not even
but,
close.
He was brilliant, and that was a very insightful passage for us to study. We always have insightful passages here on the Passage Podcast. You can go listen to 54 others if you want.
54 others?
Yeah, this is episode 55, I believe.
Double
we made
nickels.
It this far.
I can't drive 55. It has nothing to do with that
was
team.
Perfect.
You nailed
Sounded
it.
just like Sammy
Killed
Hagar.
it.
Yeah.
And
mark that one, Patrick.
You want to keep
mark that. Yeah.
You want to keep hearing things like that, you just hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single episode. Tell your friends about us. Leave us a rating or review on iTunes or what's it called now? Apple, Spotify also. Follow us on Instagram. Yeah. Napster.
Facegram.
And don't forget to go to Amazon and pick up your copy of Insufficient Grace.
Sufficient Grace.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Mark that. Cut that.
one.
Sufficient Grace. Oh, my goodness. Sufficient Grace. It's 10:23, guys. I'm struggling.
It is so
Grace.
funny that you said that.
Oh,
Do
my
not
goodness.
cut that out. whatever you do.
Sufficient Grace. I was nailing it, too. I was trying to help you out, and I had a moment. I had to go to bed.
All right, I think it's time for John.
Let's get John get us out of this.
Follow us on Instagram at passages_podcast. And join us next time on Passages.